There is a version of you that terrifies you, not the version you show people, not the version you perform at work or post about or talk about when you're feeling motivated. The real one, the one you catch glimpses of in rare moments of clarity, when the noise goes quiet and you can feel underneath everything what you are actually capable of. That version scares you, not because he is weak, because he is not. Because becoming him would require you to stop pretending that where you are is where you are meant to be. It would require you to burn down every excuse, every comfortable story, every reason you have rehearsed for why you haven't started yet. Most men spend their entire lives afraid of themselves, not of failure, not of the world, of what they would have to become if they stopped holding back. Here is the paradox nobody talks about. The men who are most capable of building something significant are often the most paralyzed. Not the men with no ability, they have a different problem. The men with real potential. The men who can feel somewhere beneath the surface that they were built for more than what they are currently doing with their lives. They are the ones who stay stuck longest. And the reason is not laziness. It is fear of their own potential. Psychologists call this self-handicapping, the unconscious strategy of limiting your own effort so you never have to find out what your real ceiling is. If you never fully try, you never fully fail. And more importantly, you never have to confront the terrifying possibility that you tried your hardest and it still wasn't enough. But there is a deeper layer beneath even that. Becoming who you are capable of becoming is not just uncomfortable, it is costly. It costs the identity you have built around your current limitations. It costs the relationships built on the assumption that you will stay the same. It costs the excuses, the comfort, the right to keep saying someday instead of today. Most men would rather live with the dull ache of unrealized potential than pay those costs. They choose the familiar ceiling over the terrifying open sky, and they call it being realistic. You cannot outrun a fear you refuse to name, and most men, when pressed, cannot tell you exactly what they are afraid of. They say they don't know where to start. They say the timing isn't right. They say they're still figuring things out. These are not reasons. They are fog. Vagueness deployed to protect a fear that is too uncomfortable to examine directly. So examine it directly. What specifically are you afraid will happen if you go all in? Write it down. Not a vague answer, a specific one. Are you afraid of being seen and judged? Afraid of building something and watching it fail publicly? Afraid that if you commit fully and still fall short, you lose the last defense you have? The story that you could have done it if you'd really tried. That last one is the one most men are carrying. The protected potential. The talent held in reserve so it can never be disproven. Name it. Because you cannot make a decision about a fear you have never been willing to look at directly. And a fear that has been clearly named loses most of its power over you. Name it tonight. Write it down. One sentence. What are you actually afraid of? Most men are operating with a definition of failure that makes inaction rational. In their mental model, attempting something and falling short is worse than never attempting at all. Trying and failing is evidence of inadequacy. Not trying is just waiting. Neutral, safe. That model is backwards, and it is destroying them. The man who attempts and fails has data, experience, scar tissue, and a refined understanding of what the work actually requires. He is further along than he was. He is building something, even when it does not look like it from the outside. The man who never attempts has none of that. He has only the untested idea of what he could have been. And that idea, preserved perfectly in the amber of inaction, slowly becomes the thing he mourns most. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the material success is built from. Every man who built something worth having failed along the way, not despite the attempts that didn't work, because of them. The failures were not detours from the path. They were the path. Changed the definition. An attempt that doesn't work is not evidence that you are not enough. It is evidence that you are in the game. And the only men who never fail are the men who never play. Here is the thing about readiness that most men never figure out. It is a feeling, not a condition. And it almost never arrives before the work begins. Men wait to feel ready. They wait for the right moment, the right resources, the right level of confidence, the right circumstances. And while they wait, the window does not stay open forever. Time passes. The version of themselves they were waiting to become gets further away, not closer. The men who build something do not wait to feel ready. They move while they are uncertain. They start before the plan is complete. They take the first step without a guarantee of what comes next. And here is what they discover that the waiting man never does. Readiness comes from action, not before it. Confidence is not the prerequisite for starting. It is the product of having started. The clarity you are waiting for will not come while you are standing still. It comes from moving. Pick one thing, the most important thing, the thing you have been putting off, and take one step toward it today, not tomorrow, not when things settle down, today. The feeling of readiness will follow. It always does. But only for the man who moved first. This is the level that changes everything. For a man of faith, potential is not a personal asset. It is a gift, entrusted to you by God for a purpose that extends beyond your comfort, beyond your fear, beyond the boundaries of the small life your fear has been trying to keep you inside. The parable of the talents is not a story about money. It is a story about potential and what God expects a man to do with what he has been given. The servant who buried his talent did not lose it through recklessness. He lost it through fear. He was afraid, and so he hid what he had been given rather than risk it in the world. And it was taken from him. This is not a metaphor. This is the spiritual reality of a man who refuses to become who he was made to be. Your potential, the ability you feel but have not deployed, the mission you sense but have not answered, the man you could become if you stopped holding back, that is not yours to squander out of fear. It was given to you with an expectation attached, that you would use it, that you would risk it, that you would take it into the world and build something with it. Fear is not an acceptable reason to bury what God placed in you. The man who walks into his potential, who stops holding back, who names the fear and moves anyway, that man is not just building a better life for himself. He is being faithful. He is answering the call. He is becoming the man God prepared in advance for specific work that no one else can do.